أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. My name is Esteri and I'm from Finland.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
من هو ربك الله ورسولك محمد ما كتابك القرآن وما دينك الإسلام.
I'm a hijabi girl in a Harami world. Life Islamic, it's fantastic. You can see my hair or touch me anywhere. Imagination, Jannah destination.
Hi guys, and welcome to my very first YouTube video. You might recognize me from TikTok, but if you don't, my name is Esteri, I'm 20 years old and I'm from Tampere, Finland. I became a Muslim about a year ago and a lot of people have been asking me on TikTok if I could make a video about my journey to Islam and how I became Muslim, etc. So I decided to make it into a YouTube video.
Esteri neiminen, 20 tahun, tumbuh dalam keluarga Finlandia biasa. Agama tidak tercermin dalam kehidupan mereka sehari-hari. Ayah dan ibunya adalah penganut ateis yang tidak mempercayai adanya Tuhan. Setelah pindah ke Tampere untuk belajar, teman-teman Esteri yang berusia 17 tahun banyak orang Kristen. Mereka mencoba melibatkan Esteri di gereja, tapi konsep Trinitas tampaknya tidak logis dan masuk akal untuk Esteri. Dia kemudian bertemu suaminya saat ini pada usia 18 tahun. Persis apa yang saya katakan, beberapa orang masih berpikir saya masuk Islam karena suami saya. Pria itu adalah pria Muslim. Ketika pasangan itu berkenalan, Esteri menyatakan bahwa dia tidak tertarik dengan agama pria itu karena citra Islam di Finlandia cukup buruk.
Just to give you a little backstory, Finland is not the most religious country in the world. Yes, technically it's a Christian country, but most people here don't believe in God, and that's how I was raised as well. I grew up in a really small town called Harola, where there is probably 200 people living there, so everyone knows each other, and a religion wasn't a part of our lives. I didn't know anyone who was a believer and so on. So my mom doesn't believe in God. She does believe in some higher power, but doesn't really believe that it's God specifically. So she wanted to raise us the way that when we grew up, we could decide for ourselves if we wanted to believe in something or if we didn't. So that's why I didn't grow up in a religious family. So growing up in school, of course, we had lessons about Christianity, but to me, they never felt right. They never felt like anything more than just some stories, some fantasy, something that some people believe in, but that weren't for me, and I never understood the Trinity or anything of it, really. It didn't really feel right to me. So growing up, we did go to church every now and then from school and with my mom as well, but it wasn't about religion.
Akhirnya 6 bulan kemudian, ia ingin mengenal agama calon suaminya. Dia mulai membaca dan mempelajari Al-Quran. Kemudian ia mulai merasakan kalau Al-Quran sangat menarik dibandingkan Bible yang pernah dibacanya, sebab isinya bukan tentang cerita, tapi lebih kepada bagaimana menjalani hidup. Sebelumnya saya berpikir bahwa semua Muslim adalah teroris, dan hanya mereka yang tinggal di negara-negara Arab yang bisa menjadi Muslim.
So when I was 16 years old, I graduated from the elementary school and decided to move to Tampere, which is one of the largest cities in Finland. And I wanted to move here because I wanted to go to this high school that had a music line there, because I love to sing and all that. So I applied and got in and moved to Tampere, and still wasn't religious at all. Religion was not part of my life in any way. I didn't care about it, and I didn't feel like it was something for me. So I just kind of lived my life and didn't really care. I also, Muslims don't have a very good representation here in Finland. Most people think that Muslims are really bad people and do a lot of bad things in the name of Allah and are terrorists and all that. And I think most of that is because of the media representation that they give to Muslims, because every time an Arab person or someone who shouts Allahu Akbar is said to be a Muslim terrorist, so that doesn't give a really good picture of Islam. So yeah, and I kind of felt the same way about Islam. I didn't really know anything about it, but I just had heard that basically it's a really bad religion, so I had never even imagined joining it or even just reading about it. I would be like, oof, no thanks. In high school, the first 2.5 years, I didn't care about religion at all, and I didn't really mind it. I didn't really care. I just kind of lived my life and went day by day, didn't think about it that much. Then when I turned 18, I resigned from the church because when you turn 18 you need to start paying taxes to the church, and I didn't want to do that. And I was thinking in my mind like, I will get back in when I need to get married in a church, because in Finland at least, getting married in a church is a really beautiful tradition and most people want to do that. And when they get married in a church, after that they resign from the church like next week or something, maybe the next day even, because they don't want to pay the taxes, but they just wanted to get married there because it's beautiful and it's traditional and so on. But when I turned 18, the same year I met my husband, alhamdulillah, and he is a Muslim. He has been born into a Muslim family, and is a really religious person, alhamdulillah. And every now and then he would try to tell me about Islam, and I would shut my ears. I wouldn't want to listen. I was just like, oh, don't talk to me, please, can we talk about something else? And that went on quite a while, and every now and then he would try to ask me some questions of like what I believe in, and I was just really arrogant. I remember being like, well, I don't believe in God because obviously he doesn't exist and you can't prove me that he exists and all that. So I was just like really arrogant about it. Then maybe I would say 6 months later, I decided that I want to do some research on Islam so I would know what he believes in, and I could try to understand him better and stuff like that. So I found out that you could listen to the Quran in Finnish from Yle Arena, which is a media platform where there are like news and TV shows and the radio and all that. And the Quran was also there in Finnish. And so thought to myself like, okay, that's cool. It's really different from the Bible because it's not about stories. It's more like how you should be living and stuff like that. So that was really interesting to me. But yeah, so I started listening to it, and every now and then I would have some questions about it, and I would just write them down, and then later on ask my husband or Google them.
Esteri merasa bahwa nilai-nilai Islam sesuai dengan logikanya, dan hatinya mulai tertambat dengan Islam. Pada musim panas 2020, ia pergi ke masjid untuk mengaji. Tidak beberapa lama saya menjadi seorang muslim, ujarnya sambil tersenyum. Esteri menekankan bahwa masuk Islam sepenuhnya merupakan pilihannya sendiri. Dan karena saya lahir dan besar di sini, di negara yang bebas, mengapa saya ingin pindah agama dengan paksa? Menurutnya, semua orang yang mengenal dia juga tahu bahwa dia keras kepala, dan dia hanya melakukan apa yang dia rasa benar. Sekarang Esteri ingin memberitahu orang lain bagaimana rasanya menjadi seorang muslim di Finlandia. Ia membagikan cuplikan kehidupannya di akun media sosial seperti Instagram dan TikTok.